I don't think that it's anything wrong necessarily with modern women. What I have a problem with is the ones that are these ultra, like feminist, I can do it all by myself, I don't need a man type attitude. And when they have a man, they still have that same talk. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. We are going to answer another email. I thought it was interesting. His name is Marcus. Okay, when it comes to modern women, you take the good with the bad. I'm currently in a relationship with a highly ambitious woman who I guess would be considered a modern woman. I like how she wants to be a power couple and generate wealth with me. But being with a woman like this means that there are some traditional qualities that will fall by the wayside, like cooking and cleaning, etc. But it's not the end of the world for me. Most of my buddies are married to traditional women, and they always say, man, I don't see how you do it. Laugh out loud. Still, I don't like how modern women are getting a bad rap. He says he likes our channel, by the way. Thanks, Marcus. Appreciate it. So I don't feel,
I think it just depends on what it is. If you're happy, then it's
yeah,
fine.
if you're happy, then it shouldn't be.
I mean, no, I don't have, we're talking about, whenever I talk about modern women, I'm talking about women who just, they're always taking pictures of themselves half naked in their relationships, things like that. And then just also like domestic sort of part of being a woman in the relationship. There are guys who like modern women in the beginning, and then as soon as they get married to them and they live with them for a while, then all of a sudden they're feeling like they're missing something.
I know,
or they're
like
in competition with them.
Yeah.
And they don't like that. But if you're happy with your relationship, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, like I don't know how long you've been with this person or not, but yeah, like you're right. If you're happy, then that's good.
You're happy.
There's people, because I know you mentioned, you said that you like how she wants to be, likes being a power couple. So I'm gonna guess that they're kind of that relationship. That meme that goes on that says build an empire with me. Or, you know that meme that says like we build an empire together. That thing. So I feel like there's different types of people in the world, which is fine. And there's men out there, I believe, that really like an ambitious woman who's working 60+ hours a week, sometimes 100 hours a week, who works like them. And that seems to be okay with, if you're okay with a woman that's like that, then I would consider you to be more of a modern man.
Right.
So I don't know if that's how you consider yourself, but a lot of traditional men have a bigger issue, or the ones that I know, at least I won't say all of them, but the ones that I know, have a bigger issue with women who work 60, 80, 90 hours a week, and still want to have children and still want to do, they have a problem with that because they really want to be kind of the breadwinners.
I think what happens is to me is, I feel like when men start to feel uncomfortable with the modern sort of situation, I think is when kids get introduced. Yeah. Because then it's not you two anymore. Now you've added, like Will Smith once said, you have to mourn the death of all parts of the relationship. So you have to mourn the death of you guys both being single, then you get married, you mourn the death of you guys getting, you having a child, you have to mourn the death of the fact that your relationship now is not just you two. When you have 2 children, you have to mourn the death of only having one.
It's a different stages.
So I think different stages call upon different things. So I think if you are single, if you are married and there are no children in the relationship, then it could seem like wonderful. Yeah. But I do think that once kids start to come into it shakes up the relationship a little bit more, and then you start wanting some traditional values thrown in there because kids need stability and they need both parents. Now, it's not to say that there are lots of people who both work. Yeah, that's not. I think I would venture to say that most couples these days are like that. Work, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is that I think that, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I'm not saying that you have to live this way or anything. I think relationships work better traditionally. I think even Kevin Samuelson said this at one point, that more relationships last longer when the man is the breadwinner and the woman stays home. When both people are working, the divorces within most divorces are within both people working. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you don't see each other as much because you're both working. Your energies are the same because you're both doing the same thing. But it's not to say that people who both work don't have a good marriage. me of saying that. I'm just saying that the modern woman thing to me is just, I'm not interested in being that woman, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't feel like, because you excuse me, at the beginning, because you were saying at the beginning, you know, you got to take when it comes to modern women, you have to take the good with the bad, is what you said. You know, and then you also stated that there are traditional qualities that will fall by the wayside, like cooking and cleaning, etc., and all that stuff, right? So, I mean, like, I don't know if you're a man who likes for a woman to cook for, you know, I don't.
Some men don't.
Some men don't. Some men are okay with having, like, takeout every day, or, you know, most days, and not
Dennis
cooking.
Prager.
Some men like to be the one that's cooking.
Dennis Prager, who is the founder of PragerU, he told Candace Owens, he was just like, I'm very traditional. I like, you know, my wife to be at home, all this. But he's like, I don't particularly. I like takeout. He always has. So he's not really interested in a woman, you know, cooking for him. And, you know, he's also wealthy, so he doesn't need her to, you know. But look, if you and your wife want to be a power couple, that's,
again, I don't think that works for you. That's fine. Yeah, if it works for you.
I think that most of the complaints with modern women is modern women themselves.
Yeah.
I think they put themselves in the line of fire, just being kind of complainy.
Yeah, modern women a lot of modern women are very vocal about being feminist and you know, independent women. They're
I don't need you.
Yeah, this kind of those kind of that talk that you always hear when it comes to modern women. Now, it doesn't mean they're bad women.
No.
Okay.
It just also means the times.
It's just a change, and I just think that if you, like you said, your buddies are like, I don't know how you doing it. You know, 'cause they're married to traditional women, so they probably get the
But, you know, I have to say that if I were married, see, the reason why I don't have a problem with what you're saying is because if I were married, I wouldn't want to marry someone who thought like you.
I like the idea of someone else cooking. Like, I actually like to do that.
I like running my home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the Claire Huxtable is not for me.
Yeah.
When it comes to marriage and that sort of thing. I think that it works better the other way, but that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? So,
well, we've had traditional men watch us, and they've said that, you know, that they believe that the dynamics between men and women there are parts to women of men and women where it is just kind of inevitable that they're going to have certain roles. Some will resist the role, you know, and the natural role I'm talking about, you know, and go into the modern type of thing. But I know that a lot of men that say, you know, it just kind of works better when you just have, you know, you just maintain the kind of those traditional roles. Now, we do understand that we are in a 2022, and it's more contemporary things are happening, so obviously we can't do everything like it was in the 50s. You know what I mean? If we could, I would do it. You know, but you know, things have changed. I see, but I don't think that it's anything wrong necessarily with modern women. What I have a problem with is the ones that are these ultra, you know, like feminist. I can do it all by myself. I don't need a man type attitude. And when they have a man, they still have that same talk. So as it happens with a lot of modern women is that they still have that same kind of like independent talk when they're in a relationship. And it's very odd to me whenever I hear, most modern women I know, when I hear them talk, they talk as if they still use my independent woman type terms, attitude. And I'm like, how are you doing that when you're in a relationship? And, you know, a lot of times it doesn't work.
Danielle, Danielle does she does all of the editing on our show, and you put in a video. I watched it the other day, and you put in a video of the roommates with Candace Owens.
Yeah.
And I agree with Candace in that I do think that there is a beautiful balance between men and women and the strengths and weaknesses of both, and how they can come together and make something beautiful. And you know,
and she's a working woman. She's a working woman.
That's what I'm saying. But I do think, but she's also someone who says, I still cook for my husband. I still like, you know,
her family's first.
You know, if you looked at what's her name, Margaret Thatcher was a very independent woman, but she still believed in serving her husband.
She's a prime minister.
She still believed in serving her husband and taking care of her kids, although she was the prime minister of a country. You know what I mean? And that's just what I'm talking about. To me, if you are a modern woman and you go off and work, you can't then neglect your wifely duties and your motherly duties for ambition. I think that's unfair, and I think that it's selfish to do that.
Yeah.
So when women do that and they sit there and they make all these careers and they, oh, I want to have kids too. Then they go off and have kids and then somebody else is raising their kids. I think that that's not fair. That's why a lot of rich kids are unbalanced because their mothers didn't take care of them. They were taken care of by nannies and people, you know, and I don't believe in that. I believe in when I'm married, that my job, and another thing is that I hate the word ambition being that women who are at home are ambitious.
Yeah,
Matt Walsh once,
I was going to say that too. You're right about
Matt
that.
Walsh, and this is the thing, I think the war on women who want to stay home. You know what I mean? And want to be, do their duty at home and their duty for their family. Matt Walsh said that it may not be a career, but it is work. And for a woman, his wife they have 4 children. His wife stays home, and he was just like, my wife cooks and cleans and runs errands, and she gets me together, so I can go off and do my job. So the idea that women who don't work aren't ambitious and working hard, it's a different type of work, right? And it's just as hard, and it's just as, to me, it's just as much of a power couple.
If you ask me though, I actually don't. I mean, I disagree a little bit, Marcus. I don't actually think that modern women are really getting a bad rap.
You know, in the 70s and 80s, this is where we were. This is the goal.
Yeah.
This is the goal happened. They manifested. You know, the glorious times. This is what they wanted. And now what we're seeing is not, as far as, you know, from the male side, men are not really. A lot of men, majority of men, not all, the way you like it, but majority of men aren't as happy.
Well, he said his buddies. He said you actually said in your thing that your buddies are married. Pretty much all your buddies are married to traditional women, and they said to you jokingly, but they said it to you, I don't see how you're doing it, man, with this modern woman, because she doesn't cook or clean and doesn't do all the stuff that men usually like. It's not that, I know, it's not that men can't cook and clean, ladies. I know some women are gonna come out there and say that. They say this every time we say this. I feel like some woman comes out of the woodwork and it's like, you act like men can't cook or clean. I'm like, no, I'm not saying that. We know that.
I think that we have different strengths.
We do have different strengths.
By nature. You know what I mean? My mother, I would call our mom is a modern woman.
Right.
My mother loves work.
Yeah.
That's what she is. But you know, the thing about my mom is that she would have been more like a Margaret Thatcher.
I think so too.
My mom would have done all of the domestic work.
She's very hands-on. Yeah, she's very
But she also would have probably, because she would have worked, because she likes work, she would have done both. For me, I'm different than her.
Yeah.
I love being domestic. I love that being my career. You know what I mean? But when I'm single, I also like to work. Yeah. Because I always have to have something to do. You know what I mean? But you know, I think that
I'm a busybody, so I like to.
Yes, I always like to be doing something. You know, but yeah, if you're happy with your, you know, I was watching a guy who's considered a red pill. Guy. I was watching his YouTube, and he's got a lot of subscribers, quite a bit, and all of them are probably 90 to 80% men, and they're all red pill men. You know what I mean? Very red pill. And he talked about the fact that men don't really want, you know, Donna Reed anymore. They don't want that. And to my surprise, when I went into the comments, because he had thousands of comments, like a lot of men disagreed with that.
Yeah.
I mean, those men. I was like really shocked.
They were
like, no, I want Donna Reed.
I would much rather have.
You know what I mean? And I thought, okay. I mean, I was completely thrown off by that because I was thinking they're going, yeah, women can work. You know, I thought they were going to be that way, but they actually disagreed with him wholly, and I was really shocked by that. So what they're saying, and what most people are saying, even when you were looking at the Candace Owens things, that modern women are being encouraged to be something, as Candace Owens said, she said it perfectly to me, being encouraged to be something men don't even really like.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying?
The narrative's out there
to do that, to is for women to be that way. Then they go and be it. And now the verdict is in most men really just prefer a woman who's not
and the next verdict is in that most women want to be just like that traditional woman. Yeah, and down, you know what I mean? Like most women want that.
We watch a girl. Danielle. She likes the 50s. I like anything from the 60s and back. So the 60s, 50s. You know, I like that era, those eras. Even though, you know, you can talk about the race thing, but I like the way the home was set up in those days. It was much easier. But there are a few people on YouTube that have old fashioned shows, and there's a girl named Sage. That's on there. Sage, she's from Australia. She's a real cute girl. But I think she's actually a farm girl.
Yeah, she's like
But
20 something.
She lives in Australia. She's young, and she's very, very, very old fashioned. She dresses old fashioned.
All 40s and 50s.
But she's really cute. I mean, the way she just likes to cook. They have a normal size home. It's not one of these YouTubers that have big mansions. It's just regular house. And she's got a boyfriend that I think is going to be her husband. So they've been together since high school.
They're really young.
But if you look at her, she's got a lot of subscribers. When you look at her comments, there are a slew of young women that say, I wish I could be this way. I wish things could be this way. And I think, see, that's the thing, is I think deep down inside, I think most women do want to be this way.
I know women
I think that they're just being encouraged not to, because they're trying to make it seem like it's just you're being old-fashioned and you're not ambitious. And that's why I don't like when people say that women who are real housewives. Real housewives are not lazy people that sit on the couch like Peg Bundy and eat bonbons. They are busy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have things to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the only way I think I could be a housewife is if I was busy, if I had a lot to do all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But because I believe in, not having too much idle time. I like, to do, have tasks to do. And I feel like when you do those things, you are actually helping your husband's business. So I don't like when people say that that's not a power couple, because actually that is a power couple.
Yeah. The idea of power couple now is the Jay-Z Beyonce feel.
I don't consider...
Where you guys are I think they mean with power couple, there's like these jet-setting couples.
Right. But most famous
there's
people...
different definitions of power couples.
Even when you talk about famous people, a lot of those men are not married to women who work. Dr. Dre's wife was an attorney and quit that.
Yeah. Michelle Obama's attorney.
And Michelle Obama's attorney. You know what I mean? All these women had careers and they stopped. Why? Because their husband's job required that.
When I was talking about how modern women are actually, I was disagreeing with Marcus when you said that modern women are getting a bad rap, right? I guess on some level I understand that, but I actually believe that women who are getting the bad rap are actually traditional women. They're actually the ones getting mocked. Now, I was watching, and we'll watch it real quick if you want to, but I was watching Joey B. Tunes. We've mentioned him before. He's really funny, but makes sense too. And he did a video recently, which I'll try to get the clip up here, you guys, where he talked about there was a talk show host who was mocking a traditional woman.
I saw this clip of this morning show, and this just proves how we're living in a time where there's this mindset of people who completely reject and vilify anything that has to do with traditional values, standards, boundaries, morality, etc., etc., etc. Wait till you hear this.
I want to take you back to the 1950s, or at least that's what I thought when I read this Brisbane mum's Facebook post. Brooke Smith shared her routine online. Here's what she said. I always make sure I don't go to bed until everyone's lunches are packed, their clothes are set out for the next day, including my husband's, and the house is clean, dishwasher is on, and a load of washing is on. I always get up early, 4:30, with my husband to make his breakfast and coffee. Go, Brooke. Whatever.
Yeah, they're mocking a mother for taking care of her family.
A lot of people online are saying, well done, are praising her.
Who? Meanwhile, these are the same people who would praise Britney Spears for posting naked photos of herself online while raising 2 teenage boys. You know this. You know if they did a story on Britney, they'd say, Britney's back, living her truth, coming up next. And they'd be sitting around the couch going, oh, it's just great to see. She's been through so much. It's just Britney being Britney now. Good for her. Yet here they are moaning and groaning about a woman who keeps her clothes on and takes pride in taking care of her kids and her husband.
Who are these people? Oh, has he hypnotized her or something? Who does this stuff?
Who does this, he says. I don't know, people who love each other, people who raise children that don't end up on OnlyFans.
We see a lot of this, where they make fun of housewives. They make fun of them, think to myself, like, why? That you act like it's not a job. Like, it's rude to do that. But so what I'm seeing out there is not a lot of modern women getting a bad rap. I really think it's the other way around. I think that modern women are actually the ones that are getting hoisted up to be like, yeah, women's empowerment, independent woman. You can do feminist. You can do it all by yourself type of attitude. But with traditional women, it's like, oh, you guys are pushing us back in the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant. Oh, it's 2022, lady. It's like they can't catch a break.
All right.
When someone aspires to be a housewife, that's looked down on. But if a woman aspires to be a CEO and work 100 hours a week, somehow it's just encouraged.
And that's what I'm saying. Feminism is not for women.
Yeah.
It's because if it was for women, they'd be hoisting up
Housewives,
they'd
all
be
of them.
pro-lifers.
Yeah.
But they don't. They bash those women because those women set their agenda back. You know what I mean? So this is, that's how I feel about that. But yeah, I honestly think that if you're happy in your relationship, no matter what that your household looks like, then you're happy.
Yeah.
Then don't try to, But I do think that once you've been in a marriage for a while, I think that's what happens to a lot of maybe what's your friends are.
I'm not sure how long.
I don't know how long he's been married. I don't know if did he say he was married.
I don't think he said he's married,
but he said his friends were.
Yeah, so maybe
friends said, I don't know how you.
He didn't identify as
So maybe your
married.
friends have been in a relationship for a while and they realize.
Yeah.
See, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes guys, you can get married and then you can like a woman for the attributes of just seeming ambitious, and then you get married to her. And then about 5 years down the line, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
If you have a career, I mean, I look at Beyonce. I believe she loves what she does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I believe that she has to marry a guy who is okay with her being that way. She did.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's okay with her being like that. She's okay with him being like that. So if you're that kind of couple, then you seem like you're more like that.
Yeah.
If you're that kind of couple, then I think that that's fine. But I just simply believe that the majority of the world.
Yeah. I think
that.
Yeah, I think that there's this is where you add in the exception and the rule.
Right.
This is where you add in that philosophy and that kind of theory, because I think that there are women who are the 90-hour, 100-hour week, ball busting, jet setting CEO business women that want to make money, generate this wealth, and they're just those type of women. They're out there, right? But I do believe those are exceptions.
Yeah.
And I think that the rule is that most women do what comes naturally to them, which would be mostly nurturing, taking care of, that type of thing, their children, their husband.
Now, if I had to work, the thing is that I've worked my whole life.
My whole life.
I've worked since I was 15 years old. I'm no stranger to hard work. In fact, I kind of like it. In a way, I kind of like.
I'm a busybody.
You know what I mean?
Like to work.
I do. I like to get down in it. But if something happened, let's just say if something happened to my husband's job,
right,
where his business folded or something like that, I would go to work.
Yeah.
I would completely support him either if at home as a housewife or if I had to work.
I'll take
I would
it
still support him.
I'll take it but I would take it even further than that. I actually believe that women should know how to make money. And even women now that say, when I was young, older women now, they're in 50s, married. So they're like, I didn't know how to make any money at all. Although their husbands left them things most of the time. But a lot of people back then were living more modestly. So they, as times change, they kind of need to work. They can get the benefits from the husband, whatever. But they kind of needed to work. But I actually believe, and this is where the contemporary part of me comes in. I do believe that women need to know how to make money, how to be financially stable, and be able to take care of themselves. Right. I think that's extremely important.
I think even if you're married, though, a woman should understand
money. I do too. Yeah.
Because I think that, for me, I think that part of you both being successful is going to depend on both of you. If these women who spend their husband's money behind their back,
yes,
that is horrible. You know what I mean? Like, no, you're working as a team, a partnership. You know what I mean? And so you need to know how to spend the money. If he's the sole provider, you need to know how to spend that money he just went out and earned. You don't just go out and start buying stuff that you way above your means. Just because you want to try to live like Kim K. You know what I mean? It's just like you to me, you have to understand money and you have to respect it a little. You know what I mean? And so. Also, I think you need to know how to earn it. I know how to work. Yeah, when the one thing I did not like about the 50s and 60s, if you want a criticism, is that a lot of those women, their husbands took care of all finances. You know what I mean? So they made the money and they spent the money. They gave them an allowance. Yeah. And to me, as a woman, I don't think you need an allowance. You need to understand money. And that way, he didn't have to give you allowance. The household money and the bank accounts. You know where your money's supposed to go.
I always think that a thrifty woman is a good woman. If you're thrifty,
in my opinion,
if you're a thrifty woman, you're a good one, because that means that you're trying to create and keep savings in your home. Yeah. And then it's just you're really helping your husband. Yeah. Because
your family.
If he's bringing in money and you're balancing it out perfectly. You know what I mean? And you're not overspending, being thrifty with things, being resourceful with things. I feel like that's a good woman. Yeah. It's some of the women that, even women, even if you're wealthy, even if you're a wealthy woman, I sometimes get sometimes I think, wow, they're really spending too much money. Like I know people who are wealthy and understand probably shouldn't buy an $8,000 shirt right now. You know what I mean? Like even though they can. It's not that they can't. It's just that the thriftiness in that person comes up. Right. You know what I mean? So I think that, but yeah, all in all, I do think that women need to know how to make money. So I don't have a problem with that. So when it comes to working women, that's not
even
my
women
issue.
spend more money than men.
So
women spend more. So even if your wife is working, it can be detrimental.
We're buyers.
You know what I mean? Because we earn that. Most of the commercials on television are geared to us.
They are.
Because they know that we will spend everything from groceries to shirts to clothes to shoes to anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's just like to me, I do think that your thriftiness is just important. I don't care if my husband is over 6 figures, I'm still never going to,
right.
I'm gonna make sure we always stay that way.
But people should be that way. I think,
Right.
you know,
No,
people should
no
be that
reason,
way. But there's a lot of people who are not. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think, I don't know, when it comes to, like, if you're happy with this woman, like, if you're happy with her, I really don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're okay, because I know you said that it falls, you took the good with the bad. So the bad to you was that she doesn't cook or clean. And then you know, so, but I'm sure you're not missing any meals, right? So you're balancing it out there. So I would have no criticism. I have no criticism with people who are a modern couple.
Yeah.
It's just not my cup of tea.
It's just
That's
not
all.
my cup of tea.
That's it.
You know
Just
what I
not my cup of tea. So I have no real criticism with your situation at all, actually, or even the woman with her. She's a highly, as you said, highly ambitious.
And also,
woman.
I don't like. I mean, I think the thing is like I don't. When I look at, I know how this is gonna sound, but I want my husband to be the head of the house. Not that he's smarter than me or I'm dumb or anything. It's just that I
lead
want
in all
him
areas.
to lead in those areas.
And
I don't want us to be equal in that.
No.
I want us to be equal in that we both have, you know, we both have positions to make the household run well, but I don't want to be the same.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's just personal to me. Yeah. If you like that, that's fine. But I don't want to be the same as my husband.
And so when there's a lot of women, a lot of modern women who feel like men and women are equal. Now, that is something I fundamentally disagree with. I do not believe that men and women are equal. So when people hear that, a lot of times they think, oh my gosh, you think they're just, women are lower than men? No one said that. Calm down. What we're saying is that in our prospective roles, we're strong in our prospective roles. Right. And that type of relationship to me is the one that kind of thrives because the man is saying, this is what I am good at, capable at, and ambitious with. And I'm going to provide it. Then woman is saying, and this is what I'm good at, capable at, and ambitious with. And together as a couple, you guys can thrive in that way. Now, there's women out here who just believe, and men too, who think, you know, 2-income household only, splitting everything, or, you know, just dividing everything up, or we're all the same, we're equal, you know. That's not my type of relationship.
Yeah, this guy said the man is the house in the family. And he said, and the girl said, what is the woman? She said, she's the home.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm the house, and my wife is the home. I provide it, and she makes it into what it is. That's what it's saying.
You know, that's what it's saying. Where the woman's touch comes from.
Right.
It needs a woman's touch.
Because house is really nothing. Even that song, "It's a Man's World." If you really listen to that song, he's saying it would be nothing.
James Brown.
Without he said he's like, it's a man's world. He said it would be nothing without a woman or a girl.
Yeah.
Which means that women bring something that men can't
table.
bring.
Yeah.
But men build the cars, which is what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Men build the railroads. Men build the planes. Men build all these things, the houses, the stuff, and that's facts. Most men do that. You know, he's just like, but women really bring. It's like what they say. I give you my seed and you make a baby. Yeah. I bring you groceries, you make a meal. Yeah. Men. So that's what I'm saying. So
we multiply. So
I wouldn't say we're not equal. We're just different. Yeah. You know what I mean? Our need is equal. Yeah. But our
if you bring something to us, we will multiply it.
Right. And that's his point.
That's how it is.
Said that. You know what I mean?
Bring you with children. Bring your seed to us.
Women inherently make things. But that's the reason why a lot of men say, they tell a lot of guys seeking wives, they say,
she'll make you better.
Make sure that your wife is giving and not taking from you. Because a woman can also break you.
Yes. Facts.
You know what I mean? Women have that kind of power. You know what I mean? And so you got to be careful about the kind of woman you're going to marry. Yeah. Because a woman can break you before you even get married. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the truth. Men can break women, but the truth is that if you're providing for a home and then your wife is completely not you know, even if your wife is working, and because we're more of the spenders in the family, regardless if we're working or not, we can still put you in the home.
Right. Women should be, look, you don't have to be a modern woman to be a savvy woman. You know what I mean? So, you know, like if this is his cup of tea, I guess, you know, it is what it is. You know, I have no,
but yeah, I have no
problem with that, Marcus.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Actually, I love love.
Yeah.
By the way, so if you're in love or you're in a relationship where it's fulfilling to you, and you know, I'm not sure how old you are either. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you're around our age. Because most people are that watch us. But if this woman, if she's you know, an asset to your life, if she's adding, if she's adding to your life and not subtracting, then I feel like then that's a good thing. You know what I mean? You found a good one. You know, if that's the case, if you're okay with, you know, not getting any meals and you know, you can get a cleaner, then there's couples that are like that.
If your friends are saying, I don't know how you do
they're
it,
laughing at them.
Then they're thinking, you get some years in. You know what I mean? That's what they're kind of saying to you. You know what I mean? All right, it's great now, but you
because you're saying you
got a couple kids and stuff like that, and
I'm gonna guess you're not married. You didn't say it. You would have mentioned you're married.
But again, everybody's different. Everybody has a different, you know, household.
Yeah, he said I'm currently in a relationship with, so he's definitely not married. Okay, so he's definitely not married.
You're in a relationship with her.
Yeah.
So you know, talk to us in 5 years. Write us another letter.
And see how it's going.
How it worked after the proposal and everything. Maybe she'll propose to you.
Right.
How do you feel about that,
Marcus?
If you're watching,
let us know what you think. And yeah, we'd like to know. Leave some comments below, guys. Let us know what you guys think about Marcus' situation, modern women. What's your take on that? Do you think they get a bad rap? I don't think they are, but you let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, you guys. We would greatly appreciate it, and we will see you guys on the next video.